Ilia Topuria is set to face Justin Gaethje at the start of next year, with Spanish outlet ABC confirming the matchup. The lightweight picture is starting to make a lot more sense. All signs point to Arman Tsarukyan squaring off with Paddy Pimblett next, as both want to compete before the year ends, setting up what would be a legitimate title eliminator. On top of that, fascinating details have surfaced about Arman's role in Khamzat Chimaev's camp for the Du Plessis fight. Tsarukyan was the one who watched and studied DDP's footage and taught Khamzat's sparring partners how to mimic DDP's awkward striking style. He even oversaw sparring sessions to keep things under control, given how intense they can get in Chimaev's gym. Arman was fully invested in helping Khamzat capture the belt. But even with all that going on, Tsarukyan still finds himself the subject of criticism. Fellow lightweight Renato Moicano recently went on a long, philosophical rant about him, trashing him for over a minute straight. Moicano believes Topuria would destroy Arman if they ever step into the cage, and explains his own personal dislike of Tsarukyan. Let's dive in.
Arman Tsarukyan, eu não acho ele bom do jeito que a galera fala. Eu acho que o Topuria ia fuder ele. Não é um cara que eu seria amigo, entendeu? Não é um cara que eu seria amigo. Porque, eu não sei, eu acho ele arrogante, entendeu? Eu acho ele arrogante. Eu não gosto de pessoas que se acham melhores do que as outras, entendeu? Porque você pode ser melhor do que outra pessoa, certamente.
Não pode deixar evidenciado isso, né?
Não, você pode ser em algum aspecto, entendeu? Não é porque você é um melhor lutador do que o outro lutador que você é melhor que ele moralmente, entendeu? O que é a moral? A gente vai ter que debater o que é moral. Moral é você fazer o que é certo quando não tem ninguém olhando. E eu não acho que o cara é moral quando ele trata outra pessoa de maneira... Trata outra pessoa como menos. Não é porque você é um campeão, você é bom, você tem dinheiro, que você é melhor do que os outros. Você pode ser melhor na questão financeira, você pode ser mais inteligente, mas, brother, pra Deus, a gente vai ver quem tava certo depois, brother.
Big John McCarthy and Josh Thompson just broke down one of MMA's most talked about potential matchups, Leon Edwards versus Ian Gary. The UFC hasn't made it official, but most expect it to happen at Madison Square Garden this November. From a matchmaking view, some felt Gary should have faced Sean Brady in a true title eliminator. That bout never happened. Brady says Gary turned him down, openly accusing him of ducking. Instead, Gary now looks aligned with Edwards, a huge matchup on name value and spotlight. Both are UK stars with big fan bases, so the build-up will be massive. On how it plays out, Big John predicts a high-level, entertaining contest, two sharp technicians showcasing striking IQ and precision. Josh Thompson disagrees, forecasting a slow, cautious fight, a snooze fest driven by kickboxing, point scoring, and tight defense. With both so technical on the feet, Thompson doesn't expect fireworks or a highlight reel finish.
This is a great matchup. Leon's great on his feet. Ian Gary's very elusive, very good on his feet. I would say that, Gary is, the more apt to try to take the fight to the ground if he thinks it's beneficial for him. I think it's going to be very difficult for him to get Leon to the ground. He doesn't have the prototypical wrestling takedowns. He's more of a grown man learning wrestling, and his jiu-jitsu is what he uses to get the fight to the ground. But, can Leon pull himself out of the proverbial dumper that he's been in as far as losing how many fights in a row now and get himself back on the winning track?
All right, I'm going to be very controversial in this fight. I love the name value on this fight, but I think it has a chance to be in a fucking total snooze fest. These two guys are going to basically stick and move. Ian Gary's going to be on the outside trying to just punch and run.
Fans went wild when Khamzat Chimaev called out Islam Makhachev for the first time, making a super fight with Team Khabib feel real. Islam answered calmly, saying he might take the fight later but didn't want problems between their people because they share culture and religion. Many fans didn't like that and said he was being too careful, maybe even scared, especially after Chimaev challenged him for the pound-for-pound #1 spot. The internet argued non-stop, and people compared Islam to Magomed Ankalaev, the other Dagestani champ who confidently welcomes Chimaev into his division. The new middleweight champ pushed back at Team Khabib, saying callouts are normal, it's sport and competition. He reminded everyone Khabib fought to compete, not to harm anyone, and even fought fellow Muslims. Now fans are more excited than ever for what could be one of the UFC's biggest possible fights. Sean O'Malley said at the MMA Lab that he tried too hard to copy Conor McGregor and it hurt his career. He also made his first fight with Merab personal even though he didn't dislike him, and that didn't help. Right now, Suga has 2 losses to the champ, and Merab isn't going anywhere. He knows he needs 1 or 2 big wins to get back in the title race at 135. He's also said he'll move up to featherweight later. O'Malley says he's learning from his mistakes and wants to fight smarter, not just chase flashy finishes. For now, he's watching Merab versus Corey. If Corey wins, it could set up the dream fight, Suga versus Corey. He knows every move matters now, and a strong win over the right opponent could reset his career.
Did you use him as a role model at all?
100%. Like, the way he carried himself into fights, the confidence, his confidence to say what he thought was gonna. I'm gonna knock this dude out round 2. I'm gonna do it. Like, I got a lot out of that, and I was like, okay, I can be confident like that. And I feel like I got lost almost in a sense where I wanted to be like Conor too much instead of being like myself. I would say like the first Merab fight, I almost like, it was my second title defense, and I was like, I want this to be big. I didn't feel like it was big. I didn't feel like Merab was a big name. I felt like I had to force it. It was at the Sphere. Like, I felt like I had to like create something, and I didn't like how that made me feel. In a sense, I'm like, because I didn't hate Merab. I would have loved to knock him out. I would love anybody if I want to knock out without it being personal.
Yeah.
But I felt like I made that one too personal, and I didn't like that. Merab one, I kind of felt like I forced a little bit.